All right, y'all, new box just dropped. We're going to review it real quick, and I'm going to give you a ton of sample deck lists that you can look at and use when crafting your new decks, so stick around. What's up, guys? It's your boy Kazaris back with another box review, and today we have there's no official name for the box yet, but it's released by the same guy that leaked the Harpies box, the TG box, and I believe the box before that, and he was correct on all of those. So I'm choosing to believe him. I think we're in the clear, but just take this with a grain of salt, I guess. But we're going to go off of it anyway. So these are the new cards we are getting. We are getting Red Nova Dragon. Very cool card. Can be a little tough to summon. There's a specific combo that allows you to easily summon it, but you can have to play some weird cards, so I don't know if it's completely optimal, but it's a really cool card. So it gains 500 attack for each tuner in the grave, so it can easily get over 4,000 attack. It'll be 45 when it comes out because it requires 2 tuners to make it to begin with, so it'll be huge when it comes out. Can't be destroyed by an opponent's card effects, and when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can target the attacking monster, banish this card, and if you do, negate that attack, and then you special summon it. So gets really big, can't die by card effects, and your opponent really can't beat over it, even if they could get something bigger than it, which is really cool. So we got the new Blackwing Armor Master. The day late and $1 short on this. I mean, Blackwing list in general hasn't changed at all, but they get to play Armor Master now, which is cool. So I've got a cool little Blackwing deck to show you guys. And then TG Wonder Magician. Literally none of these. You need like maybe one of each of these ultra rares. The super rares are where the bread and butter really is for this box. But TG Wonder Magician isn't locked behind that skill anymore, the set Delta Excel skill, but we're still going to play that because it still gives us a 12 card extra deck, so we don't really need this, but it's kind of cool to have in case we ever go off that skill in the future. But TG didn't change at all. We got Ally of Justice Catastor, finally a good generic level 5 synchro. The only other one I think was like Samsara, Dragon of Rebirth maybe, but this one's really good. At the start of the damage step, if it battles a face-up non and dark monster, you destroy it. Basically, Super Rush Headlong, constantly on it, except when it battles a dark monster. So pretty cool. Old Entity Cthulhu. This card is pretty cool. The other one is Old Entity Hastor. So for the entity cards, there's 2 fusions, 2 synchros, and 2 Xyz. The fusions are elder entities. The synchros are old entities, and the Xyz are outer entities. So we finally got the counterpart to Hastor. This card, if it's synchro summoned, you can return all rank 4 Xyz monsters on the field to the extra deck, which is kind of ridiculous removal. Doesn't target, bounces everything. But like, not a ton of decks leave an Xyz on the field. If they make one, they're probably typically going for game that turn. If you fusion summon using this card as fusion material, you draw a card, or if you Xyz summon using this card as fusion material, you draw a card. So pretty cool. Generic, easy to make. 200 attack, kind of big. And then Armory Arm as well. This card is nuts. Once per turn, you can either target one monster on the field, equip this card to that target, or unequip this card and special summon it. So it's basically a Union monster, even though it doesn't say Union. And then while equipped by this effect, that target gains 1,000 attack. If the target destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard to inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack of the destroyed monster in the graveyard. So generic level 4, you equip it to a monster, gains 1,000 attack, and it gets like a Flame Wingman effect, which is really, really cool. So glad we're getting this card finally, a generic rank 4 besides the old entities that's actually usable in other decks. And we're getting Meklord Emperor Wisel. Now this card is really cool, and you know when I see a new level 1, I immediately think Piper Relinquished. So of course I made a new deck with that. But it's also, if you would notice, a dark machine. So Desperado can play this, and I think it's good enough to make it maybe come back into the meta. So this card's really cool. So it's 2,500 attack and defense, cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned by its own effect, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. When a face-up monster you control is destroyed by card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. So other monsters you control cannot declare an attack. Once per turn, you can target a synchro monster your opponent controls, equip that target to this card. So it's basically a Relinquish-like effect, but only for synchro monsters. It gains attack equal to the combined attack of the monsters equipped to it by this effect, so you can equip multiple over the course of a few turns if your opponent has multiple synchros, but that's kind of unlikely. And then once per turn, during either player's turn, when your opponent activates a spell card, you can negate the activation for free, and if you do, destroy it. So really, really cool card, a ton of effects. And it's basically, if anything you control is destroyed by card effect, which Desperado can do easily with Blast Spider. Desperado can trigger its effect to destroy your own cards as well. It doesn't have to be a Dark Machine that dies. You can just summon this for free. 2500 attack and defense. Negate spell cards. Really, really cool card. Fortismo, the Mobile Fortress, allows you to special summon a Meklord army monster from your hand. Not very good. Yoko Tuner, if it's normal summoned, you can special a tuner from your hand or grave, but its effects are negated. Okay. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll look at this more in the future, but I don't see anything with it immediately. Crimson Resonator. This card is really good for the Jack Atlas Red Dragon strategy. So if you control no monsters, you can special summon it for free. Level 2 tuner. And then if the only monster you control is, or you special summon it from your hand. And then if the only other monster you control is exactly one Dark Dragon Synchro monster, you can special summon up to 2 Resonator monsters from your hand or deck, except Crimson Resonator. So in the TCG you could summon 2, but in this game, if you have a Dark Dragon and Crimson Resonator, you only have one of those zones. So you can only ever summon 1 with this card. And you can only use one or both effects once per turn. So you can special summon it and special from deck in the same turn. Really cool. Resonator Call, you get to search this card for free. So you basically have 6 of this, which is absolutely nuts. And we also got Tuning. This card is absolutely insane. Add any Synchron tuner from your deck to your hand. Send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. Every Yusei Synchron deck just got so much better. This card is also splashable because you can just put Jet Synchron in like any graveyard-based strategy. Search Jet Synchron, mill the top card of your deck. Jet Synchron, if it's in the grave, can discard a card to summon itself back. Just absolutely nuts. So I got a Thunder Dragon list with this as well, and a pure Synchron list. Stardust Wish. Once per turn, if a Stardust Synchro monster you control is tributed to activate its own effect, you can target that monster, special summon it. You cannot activate cards or effects in response. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this effect's activation. Monsters special summoned by this effect cannot be destroyed by battle while in attack position. So this card's kind of cool. Just gives you like extra utility for your Stardust Synchro monsters, but like they're not fantastic to begin with. Like no deck is really going into Stardust Dragon on its own. Because Stardust Dragon just doesn't do enough in this format. There's too much removal aside from destruction. Especially with Cyber Slash in the format. It's 100 attack bigger than Stardust Dragon. And it can just bounce the Stardust Dragon. So this card's kind of useless at the moment. And then a couple of the Meklord armies. I'm not really going to go over them. But we got some Morphtronic cards, which is cool. We finally got Boombox in. This card can attack twice while in attack position. And then once per turn while in defense. When a face-up Morphtronic monster you control is targeted for an attack, you can negate the attack. Pretty cool. When you equip this with Double Tool C and D, it becomes a 2200 attack monster that can attack twice. And when you pair it with Borden, while Borden is in attack position, Morphtronic monsters you control can attack your opponent directly. So you can attack directly twice for 4400 damage if you can get that 3-card combo. So that's kind of cool. So I kind of made a draft version of a Morphtronic deck. I don't know exactly how good it is. But those are all the cards that are worth going over. So that being said, let's just jump right into the lists. So grab your coffees. Alright, first up we have Meklord Desporcust, I'm calling it. We have Desperado, Barrel Dragon, 3 of them, with the Orchest engine because these are dark machines, and when paired with Orchestrated Return, we get to draw a ton of cards. So Harpoorer can banish itself to summon any Orchest from the deck except Harpoorer, so you can summon Simple Skeleton or Brass Bombard. And then you can only special summon dark monsters the rest of the turn you activate that effect, so keep that in mind. And then World Wand can also be sent to the grave with Orchestrated Return, and it gets to summon a banished Orchest monster. So that's pretty cool. So you banish the Harpoorer, then you get to summon it back with World Wand. Then we have 3 Meklord Emperor Wisel. And if you will notice, when you add the total stats of Wisel, you get 5,000. When you add the total stats of Desperado, you get 5,000. When you play Life Point Boost Alpha, you start with 5,000 life points. And Card of the Soul allows you to add a monster from your deck to the hand whose sum attack and defense equals your life points. So when you play Life Point Boost Alpha, which we'll be playing with this deck, you get to activate Card of the Soul to search Wisel or Desperado Barrel Dragon. So it's like you're playing 5 copies of each, which is pretty cool. And you have a ton of draw power with Orchestrated Return. You can maybe cut a Simple Skeleton and play a third one of this. That would be okay. You're also playing Megaroid City with Kiteroid because Megaroid City will destroy your dark machines on the field, trigger Desperado Barrel Dragon and Meklord Emperor Wisel in your hand, and also search you protection in Kiteroid. Really cool. You have Blast Spider as well. It's a level 4 dark machine. Can be summoned off of Black Salvo, same with Harpoorer. Can also destroy itself or another dark machine, and then it can trigger the Wisel and the Barrel Dragon in your hand, and then just 3 Book of Moons. Generic, good back row. Another card to note is Wisel Attack 3. I believe we're getting this with Quattro when he comes. Quattro, right? Primo's his name, not Quattro. Quattro is the gimmick puppets. Quattro is the gimmick puppets. Primo is the Meklords. So this card's kind of cool. If you summon it and you don't control a Meklord monster, it dies. It doesn't activate. It's just a continuous condition that is present on the card that whenever it isn't met, it just dies. It's kind of like a Burning Abyss. So Burning Abyss, say, if there is a non-Burning Abyss monster on the field, they die. They don't activate. They don't start a chain. It just happens no matter what point in the chain it is. Same thing with Wisel, but it is being destroyed by a card effect. So it will trigger the condition for Wisel and Desperado Barrel Dragon. So that is kind of cool. I was thinking about playing it, like you can summon it, it'll die, so it can't be bounced by Harpy Lady. But whatever you summon, either Wisel or Barrel Dragon, will then just be bounced by Cyber Slash afterwards. So it's okay. Maybe it'll come up in the future, but for now, not really. And then just majority dark monsters in the extra deck because these will restrict you to darks. However, if you like Orchestrate a Return, send Harp Horror, draw Black Salvo, you haven't been restricted to dark monsters yet, so Black Salvo can summon back Harp Horror to make Black Rose or Samurai Destroyer. Or if you are restricted, you can make Ancient Pixie, which is cool because with Megaroid City, it's a field spell to trigger Ancient Pixie's effect to draw a card, and then you can destroy a face-up attack resistant monster on the field. Really cool. And then Thought Ruler Archfiend, just because you can technically make it with a level 4, a Symbol Skeleton, and a Brass Bombard. Pretty neat as well. So moving on, we have Resonators. Now this deck is really cool. It revolves around all dark dragon type synchro monsters in the extra deck. It plays Witch of the Black Forest because this is a good just generic level 4 to synchro with, because then you can add something from your deck to your hand. You have 2 Wandering King Wildwind. During the next turn after it's in the grave, you can banish it to search a Synchron monster, or just a Dark Fiend with 1500 less attack. So I was wrong on that. And then you have 3 Crimson and then 2 Red. So Red can normal summon itself, special summon Witch, or you can just special summon Crimson, normal summon Witch. Either one works. Really cool. If you're playing the Red, you'll gain a ton of life points when you summon it back off of Red Rising, which is cool. So you'll go up to 60 and 100. So you're playing Solemn Scoldings. This is just a generically good card. It's basically Solemn Judgment, but you pay 3,000 life points, and it can be the only set card in your spell and trap zone. And the only card you're really setting is Book of Moon. If you're going second, you'll be using this aggressively, so you can like clear a board and then set a Scolding, which is good. 2 Red Rising, a Red Dragon Archfiend, a Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Baned, and a Red Dragon or a Red Nova Dragon. Pretty cool. So if you can get like Red Dragon Archfiend with 2 level 2 fiends on the field, then you can make Red Nova Dragon pretty easily. To make it turn 1, you have to play a few weird cards. If you have like Red Dragon Archfiend on the field from previous, you set Scolding, you can Scolding, and then you can Trunade, Red Resonator, summon Crimson, make Red Nova, and then attack for game, something like that. Pretty neat. The deck overall is very consistent, and it can do some cool plays. Kind of counterpart to that, Synchron's, Yusei's deck. We got 3 tuning, absolutely nuts. This deck OTKs as well as Resonators, maybe a little bit better, because tuning can grab Quick Draw Synchron, or Jet Synchron, or Junk Synchron. Junk Synchron can summon back the Cobalt Hedgehog or the Rush Warrior to make the Junk Warrior or the Cataster. Jet Synchron can summon itself back to make like a Coral Dragon or something, a level 6, and then Coral Dragon and a Cobalt Hedgehog can make Hammer, which can then attack twice, which is pretty cool. And then Quick Draw can make the Nitro Warrior with the Cobalt and the Rush Warrior as well. Really nice, or the Junk Archer as well. So Nitro Warrior, if you activate a spell this turn at any point, it gains 1,000 attack during the next attack involving this card. This attacking card destroys an opponent's monster by battle. After damage calc, you can target a face-up defense position monster your opponent controls, change it to attack, and then this card can attack again. So it can be 38, attack twice if they have the correct monsters on the field. Then you're playing the Trunade, the 2 MSTs, a couple Book of Moons. Rush Warrior is like a Honest, which is really nice. And then you're also playing the Attack Booster Warrior skill. So Nitro Warrior will gain 100 attack times its level. Junk Warrior will gain 100 attack times its level. Stuff like that. So pretty cool deck overall. Another nice OTK deck. Then we have Thunder Dragons with tuning. You get to play 3 tuning and Jet Synchron. Tuning will mill a card from the top of your deck to the grave. Stack your grave with more lights and darks. Jet Synchron can discard a card. Stack your grave with more lights and darks to summon itself. You can also play Black Rose Dragon again. Bryanak again. You can maybe play Jet Warrior with Aloof, and Jet Synchron makes Jet Warrior. Kind of neat. Then you still have the 2 rank 6s as well. So this deck got a little bit better, I think. You can maybe play some, you can maybe round it out to 30, play some like hand traps like Sphere Karibo or something, or Kiteroid. You can't play Kiteroid because charge is limited to 2, but maybe Sphere Karibo. Something like that. Not too much to be explained. Like before, this deck was like at this maybe, but now you get to play the Synchrons and stuff. So then we have Morphtronics as well. I'm not exactly sure how to build this deck. I just know I want to try and like Boombox and C&D Borden is OTK. But the deck in general just has really good synchro potential. You can like self-on constantly to summon Smartphone. Let me put some junk boxes in here. Maybe like put some junk box. Like right now there's too many, but scoping into a level 4 like Boomboxing is Power Tool. Power Tool gets Living Fossil, which can bring back scoping, and then you can special summon again. It's not once per turn, or it's a soft once per turn. Smartphone and Cellphone can do a lot of stuff. So like I don't know if this, like I'm just trying to get like a rough idea of the cards you can play. Living Fossil, just a searchable reborn off of Power Tool is really good, or just a searchable boost off of Double Tool is okay. But like if you're searching Double Tool, you're not really extending your combos. So the Boomboxing Borden might be too inconsistent. I can't really think of a way to boost it too much outside of this Power Tool. And then you have Junk Box as well, free reborns, and then Trunade. This could be an OTK deck maybe. So something like this, just generic cards to look at. Sylvan Princess Sprite is really good. You can overlay a couple cell phones or smartphones to search your Living Fossils or Junk Boxes or something like that. And then Scrap Dragon is good as well, and Catastor is cool because you have Smartphone as a level 1 tuner and Boomboxing. So these are some ideas. Oh, you also have the Mythic Tree stuff. I forgot I made a video on that stuff. So maybe something with these two, maybe that's an option. So keep those in mind. Moving on. And now we have Blackwings. Not much has changed. We just get to play Armor Master in the extra deck now. This can't die by battle. So this is a cool card to make turn 1. This is like what had success in the most recent KC event. Top of that, I think top 100. I'm not exactly sure what place. He played a second Cyclone, but we get to play. I cut it to 20, and we get to play Armor Master now as well. So not much has changed, but this card is a nice welcome addition for sure. And finally, we have Piper Relinquished. Now, we are playing the Neos Fusion package because it could send Djinn, and Djinn can be banished to fulfill the requirements for a ritual summon of Relinquished, and then neither player can target the monster that it summons by card effects. So Relinquished can't be bounced by Cyber Slash, can't be targeted by Karmaket, can't be targeted by Book of Moon. Absolutely nuts. Untargetable Relinquished is definitely a threat. And then if anything dies, you can summon the Y-Cell from your hand. Really cool card, negate any spell card. And then you also have the option of playing Fusion Parasite. You can send this off of Neos Fusion, and then when you summon it off of Kinkabayo, you can Fusion Summon Millenniumize Restrict using Fusion Parasite's effect. So that's an option as well. I just wanted to keep it at 20. You can easily just make it 21 and throw that in there if you wanted. But for now, I think that's cool. Then you can also play Sylvan Princess Sprite. Kinkabayo, bring something back, make an 1800 monster that can maybe mill the top card of your deck, add like a Neos Fusion or a Black Illusion Ritual to your hand if you're desperate. Pretty cool. Sphere Kuriboh as well. So that being said, a lot of cool options from this box. It's definitely pretty decent. I would at least go into it to maybe just get the Catastor and like the Blackwing Armor Master. But other than that, I don't think there's much else to go into. Tuning is really good, but if you're not playing anything that it revolves around using tuning, I don't think you need it. But we got some really good generic searchers, so this box is really cool. Welcome addition as well, especially following Tenki. So hope you guys enjoyed. Enjoy your coffee. Enjoy the rest of your day. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.